Shalom, this is the mini Parasha of Mira Neshama, Chukat. Chukat is a parasha that speaks of chukim. Chukim are the decrees that impose themselves on us, that don't make sense, and they just impose themselves on us. And there are a few chukim in this parasha that are not only about the red heifer, the red cow. For instance, the death of Miriam and Aaron. These are chukim, and death is a chok by excellence. You know, the things that imposes itself on us, and we have just no agency whatsoever in front of it. And I want to focus on the episode of where Moshe strikes the rock, and I was reading it closely, and I was reading at what happens right after. So first of all, during the whole episode, I used to keep in mind, in my memory, it was all about Moshe and Hashem, and Moshe was alone on this. But actually, you realize when you actually read the parasha that all the time it was Moshe and Aaron, and Hashem was asking Moshe and Aaron to come and to talk to the rock and to gather the community, etc. And so when Moshe strikes the rock, right after the first words of Hashem are towards Moshe and Aaron, both of them together, and he says, because you did this, you're not going to get to enter the land. And actually, Aaron does die in this parasha, but it's interesting. So he's speaking in the plural, and the reason he's giving to that is not because they disobeyed, which is what I used to remember, that because Moshe disobeys Hashem and strikes the rock and doesn't do a chok, like a divine decree that Moshe asked him to do. That he shouldn't think, he should just do what he's being asked to do. It's not because he disobeyed; it's because he didn't have faith, and that's what Hashem says. He says, Yan. Lo emantem bi, because you plural, you guys didn't believe me. Because of this, you're not going to get to go into the land. And it was so fascinating for me when I read this again, because it goes again to show how much the deep, long-lasting consequences of our actions are all about the energies that are behind our actions. Because the truth is, the short-term response, the short-term consequence of this action of striking the rock works. In appearance, on the surface, on the relative level, Moshe seems to obtain what he wants. He wanted water, he got water. He strikes the rock, he doesn't do what God says to do, but it still works, and he has what he wants, and Bnei Israel get the water they wanted. But then on a deeper level, on a more spiritual level, on a long-lasting level, Moshe deeply doesn't get what he wanted, which was to actually bring Bnei Israel into the land, into the promised land, and bring them there. And this is all not because he disobeyed. This would be so childish, to think it's just because of that. No, it's much deeper. It's because he didn't believe himself. He didn't have enough faith to believe that he could talk to an object, to just believe what Hashem said, and that was the test. And it's so hard. It's so hard to think, oh my God, it was so hard to believe in this, and just because he didn't believe enough, just because of that, things don't work. But the truth is, if we look at our lives in reality, we can send all the emails we want. We can make all the professional meetings we want. If deep inside we don't believe, we don't have confidence, self-confidence, confidence in others we work with, it's actually not going to work. We're not going to get to where we want to get. And sometimes in appearance, it works. And it can work even for a short time. We can get small things. But if the deep belief and confidence isn't there, if the Emuna, like Hashem says, isn't there, it's not going to work. So that's what I'm getting from reading this parasha this week. And really my bracha, my blessing for you is, may you have the Emuna, may you have the confidence, may you have the trust in whatever you're setting off to do, so that actually you will get where you want to get. This was the mini Parasha of Mira Neshama. Please share, like the page, Neshama Meditation. You can always make a donation. That really helps me continue doing what I do. And Shabbat Shalom.